Have you ever started your day with a nice boiled egg, maybe paired with some toast or even a cup of milk, thinking you're doing something good for your body? After all, eggs are full of protein, right? They're one of the most popular breakfast foods around the world. But what if I told you that pairing eggs with the wrong foods, something many of us do without even realizing, could actually be putting your health at risk? Now I know that might sound surprising, especially when you've been eating certain food combinations for decades without thinking twice. But here's the thing. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to the foods we eat and how those foods interact with each other. What worked just fine in your 30s or 40s may now cause discomfort, digestion issues, or even more serious problems after 60. And that's exactly why we're having this chat today. Because when you reach your golden years, every little habit, especially the ones tied to your diet, matters more than ever. Your energy, digestion, immunity, and even your mood are all connected to what you put on your plate. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 foods you should never eat with eggs. Foods that might seem totally harmless or even healthy on their own. But when paired with eggs, they can lead to everything from indigestion and bloating to nutrient loss and even chronic inflammation. Let's start by talking about one food that many people commonly eat with eggs, especially for breakfast, and it's something that may already be in your fridge right now. Milk. It sounds innocent enough, right? A nice glass of milk with your omelette, or a creamy egg curry with added dairy to make it rich. But did you know that mixing milk and eggs can sometimes lead to more harm than good? Here's why. Eggs and milk are both high in protein, but they are digested differently in your body. Eggs are considered a heating food in Ayurveda, which means they tend to generate internal heat, while milk is classified as a cooling food. This contrast in how they affect your system can actually confuse your digestive process, especially as we grow older and our metabolism slows down. You might have noticed it yourself, feeling unusually full, gassy, or bloated after such a meal. And it's not just about discomfort. When your digestion gets disrupted frequently, it can affect nutrient absorption, lead to fatigue, and even contribute to chronic gut inflammation. That's why, even though both milk and eggs are healthy, on their own, having them together might be doing more harm than good, especially for seniors. I want you to think about your typical breakfast for a moment. Is it rushed? Do you find yourself mixing foods for convenience, like having cereal with milk and then adding a boiled egg on the side? These habits are so common, but that doesn't mean they're harmless. And it's not about fear, it's about awareness. Because once you know better, you can make smarter choices that support your health rather than quietly harm it over time. Now let's look at another common food that often ends up on the same plate with eggs: beans. Yes, beans. They're loaded with fiber and protein, and they've been praised for being heart-healthy and great for digestion. But when you combine them with eggs, that's where things get a bit tricky. You see, both eggs and beans are rich in protein, but they contain different types of proteins that require different digestive enzymes. When you mix them, your digestive system has to work overtime to break them down properly. And for many people over 60, digestion already takes longer than it used to. That means that instead of feeling full and satisfied, you might feel sluggish, heavy, or even gassy. Some people also experience acid reflux or heartburn after this combination, especially when it's eaten late in the day. That's your body's way of telling you, hey, something's not quite right here. And if you're someone who already struggles with gut issues, constipation, or bloating, this combo might be making things worse. But don't worry. We're not saying you should never eat beans or eggs again. The key is in how and when you eat them. Giving your body time to digest, keeping meals simple, and avoiding heavy protein combinations can make a huge difference in your overall energy levels and comfort. And let's be honest, after 60, comfort matters. You don't want to spend your golden years feeling bloated or tired just because of a poorly planned breakfast. Now, before we move on to the next food to avoid with eggs, let me share a little story with you. A dear friend of mine, let's call him Mr. Mehra, always started his day with a power breakfast: 2 boiled eggs, some baked beans, and a glass of milk. It was his strong man breakfast, as he called it. But over time, he started noticing strange things. He felt bloated in the mornings, had frequent gas, and even began skipping breakfast because it made him feel worse. When he shared this with his doctor, they reviewed his food combinations and advised him to separate these foods. Within just a week, he felt lighter, more energetic, and surprisingly, his digestion improved dramatically, all by simply eating the same foods, but at different times. That's the kind of shift we're aiming for here. No drastic changes, just small, smarter tweaks that help your body work with your meals, not against them. Now that we've taken a closer look at milk and beans, two very common foods that often sneak onto the same plate as eggs, let's talk about another surprising culprit, something so simple, so everyday, that it barely raises an eyebrow. I'm talking about sugar. Yes, even that little spoonful you stir into your tea or sprinkle over your toast while enjoying eggs on the side. Now, you might be wondering, how can sugar be a problem if I'm not eating it directly with the egg? But that's just it. Most of us don't even realize how often sugar finds its way into the same meal. Maybe it's a sweetened cup of tea, a biscuit on the side, or even ketchup on your omelette. And while sugar itself is something we all try to limit as we get older, what makes this combination especially risky is what it does to your body when consumed with eggs. You see, when eggs and sugar meet in your digestive system, they can form compounds that are much harder for your body to break down. There's even research suggesting that the heat from cooking eggs with sugar, like in some sweet egg dishes, can lead to the creation of certain harmful chemicals in your body. These can contribute to inflammation, poor gut health, and even increase your risk for chronic conditions if consumed regularly over time. And if you're someone already managing blood sugar issues like prediabetes or diabetes, this combo is even more concerning. The protein in eggs digests slowly, while sugar hits your bloodstream fast, causing spikes and crashes that can leave you feeling drained or irritable. Over time, this roller coaster can wear down your metabolism and put unnecessary stress on your body, especially your pancreas, liver, and digestive system. You might not feel the effects immediately. That's the tricky part. It's not like eating sugar and eggs together will knock you out that day, but think about what happens when you do this over and over again, day after day, year after year. It's like slowly pouring sand into the engine of your car. At first, everything seems fine, but eventually it clogs up the system and leaves you stuck on the side of the road. One of the best things you can do for yourself as you get older is listen to your body. That sluggish feeling after a meal, that bloating, the sudden tiredness. These aren't random, they're signals, little nudges from your body trying to tell you something isn't quite right. And you don't have to stop enjoying the foods you love. You just need to enjoy them smarter. Like having your eggs with vegetables or a slice of whole grain toast instead of a sugary bun. Or switching that sweet cup of tea to something lighter, maybe herbal, and saving your treat for later when your stomach isn't already busy digesting protein. Because after 60, the goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live better, with more energy, less discomfort, and greater control over your health. And something as simple as not combining eggs with the wrong foods can play a surprisingly big role in that. Let me share something interesting that a nutritionist once told me. She said, "The body isn't a garbage bin. You can't just throw in everything at once and expect it to sort itself out." And she was right. Digestion, especially as we age, becomes more delicate. It needs our cooperation, not confusion. Giving your body simpler combinations to process means you're helping it work efficiently, and efficient digestion means better energy, sharper focus, and fewer health complications down the road. Now, I know it can feel a little overwhelming at first, suddenly learning that something as ordinary as eggs with milk or eggs with sugar can be a bad combo. But remember, knowledge is power. You're not here to worry, you're here to take control. And just by watching this video, you've already taken the first step. So here's something simple you can start doing right away. The next time you make eggs, try to keep the meal clean and light. Skip the milk, avoid the sugary sides, and give your body a little breathing room. You might be surprised by how much better you feel after just a few days of smarter eating. There's also a positive side to all this, because for every don't, there's a do. For every food you should avoid pairing with eggs, there's a better option waiting to take its place. Foods that will enhance your health rather than challenge it. Foods that are easier to digest, gentler on your system, and packed with nutrients your body can actually use. And sometimes those little tweaks in your daily routine can lead to big improvements in how you feel. You might notice more energy in the morning, less stomach upset, or even a better night's sleep. It's all connected, and it starts with your plate. You deserve to feel light, strong, and confident in your health decisions. And you don't need to chase fancy diets or expensive superfoods to do it. Just some good old-fashioned wisdom, like knowing that eggs, though healthy on their own, don't always get along with everything else on the plate. And that's the beauty of this journey. Every small shift builds on the last. It's never too late to learn something new, never too late to protect your body, and never too late to feel better than you have in years, just by paying closer attention to the little things. Now that we've looked at how sugar and eggs can stir up trouble in your system, let's turn our attention to one more pairing that many people never question: fruits. Yes, even those colorful, juicy, refreshing fruits that we often think of as the picture of health. But when eaten alongside eggs, especially in the same meal, they might not be doing your digestion any favors. Let's talk about what's really going on here. Imagine your stomach like a careful chef in the kitchen trying to prepare a meal. When you toss in eggs, it gets to work slowly breaking down all that protein and fat. It takes time, effort, and a steady rhythm. Now, imagine throwing in fruit, light, quick digesting, sugar-packed. Suddenly that chef has to juggle two very different orders at the same time. It's like asking someone to cook a slow roast and a fruit salad in the same pot. The result? Confusion, chaos, and sometimes a bit of a mess. And that's exactly what can happen inside your digestive system when you eat fruits and eggs together. Fruits tend to ferment quickly in the stomach, especially when they're held up by slower digesting proteins like eggs. This can lead to bloating, gas, discomfort, and in some cases, nutrient absorption issues. You might not feel it right away, but if you've ever had a meal with eggs and fruit and then felt strangely off for a few hours afterward, now you know why. One of the most common places we see this combination is in breakfast. Think about it. Scrambled eggs with orange juice, an egg sandwich with a banana on the side, or an omelette followed by a fruit salad. It sounds healthy enough, doesn't it? But the truth is, your body doesn't process these foods at the same speed or in the same way, and that mismatch can cause strain, especially as we age and our digestive enzymes naturally decrease. Now, this doesn't mean fruit is bad. Far from it. Fruits are wonderful for seniors. They're rich in fiber, vitamins, antioxidants, and natural hydration. But like anything, timing matters. Eating fruit separately, perhaps 30 to 60 minutes before your main meal, gives your body the chance to digest it quickly and without conflict. That way, when you sit down for your eggs later, your stomach is ready and not already backed up with something that should have cleared out long ago. This simple change, just adjusting the order of your meals, can have a noticeable impact. Many seniors who make this switch report feeling lighter, more energized in the morning, and less bloated after breakfast. And when your digestion improves, everything else tends to follow. Your mood, your energy, even your sleep. Let me tell you a little story. I once met a woman named Shalini at a wellness camp. She was in her early 70s, sharp as a tack, but constantly complaining of mid-morning fatigue and bloating. Every day she'd start with a plate of eggs and a side of papaya, thinking she was making the healthiest choice. But when she swapped the fruit to before her breakfast, or had it as a separate snack mid-morning, she noticed an incredible shift. Her stomach felt calmer. She had more energy through the day, and that heaviness she used to carry around just seemed to lift. Sometimes that's all it takes. Not a new medicine, not a complicated detox, just learning which foods belong together and which don't. And it's not about being strict or scared of food. It's about being kind to your body, listening to what feels good, respecting your digestion, especially now when it needs a bit more patience and care. Eggs, as we've said, are a powerhouse, but they're also demanding. They need space to do their job in your system. Mixing them with the wrong foods like fruits, milk, sugar, or beans can overwhelm your digestion and turn something healthy into something harmful. But here's the good news. You now have the knowledge. And knowledge is like a gentle flashlight, helping you find a better path. You don't have to stop eating the foods you love. You just have to eat them smarter. Separate your fruits, skip the sugar, and pair eggs with gentler companions like veggies or whole grains. You'll be amazed at how much lighter and more energized you feel, even after just a few days. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress. Every small change adds up. Every smart meal gives your body more strength. And when you feel better inside, it shows on the outside too, in your energy, your posture, your smile. So many people over 60 think their health decline is just part of aging, but it doesn't have to be. So much of what we feel, tiredness, bloating, brain fog, isn't just getting old. It's the result of habits we were never taught to question. But now you know, and now you can do something about it. Start with your breakfast. Start with one simple change. Your body will thank you, and it'll show you how good life can feel when you work with it, not against it. Let's continue this journey into better eating, better energy, and a better understanding of what our bodies truly need, especially now that we've entered the golden years of life. We've talked about how eggs, despite being a great source of nutrition, can turn tricky when paired with the wrong companions like sugar, beans, and even fruits. But there's one more common mistake many people make without realizing it: pairing eggs with milk. Now I know what you might be thinking. Eggs and milk? Isn't that a classic combo? So many of us grew up on boiled eggs with a glass of milk or milky chai after a protein-rich breakfast. It feels familiar, it feels nourishing. But what if I told you that this classic pairing could be quietly messing with your digestion? And more. Here's why. Eggs are animal protein. Milk is also animal protein but in a liquid form, with its own set of enzymes, sugars and fats. When these two come together in your stomach, they don't always play nice. Your body has to produce different enzymes to digest them, and often at different pH levels. That means your stomach ends up in a kind of tug-of-war, trying to break down the egg while also dealing with the lactose and casein in the milk. This can lead to delayed digestion. And when digestion slows down, everything backs up. You may feel heavy, sluggish, or experience bloating that seems to come out of nowhere. Some people even notice their skin starts acting up, rashes, acne, or breakouts that don't make sense. For their age, that's not a coincidence. Poor digestion often shows up on the skin first, and mixing foods that don't get along is one of the biggest culprits. It's even more critical for seniors because our digestive systems naturally become less efficient with age. The enzymes that used to handle big meals with ease now need a bit more help, and mixing foods that require totally different digestive environments makes their job even harder. Think of it like asking your stomach to cook two completely different meals in one pot. It's confusing, exhausting, and messy. I remember chatting with a gentleman named Mukesh at a senior center. He was strong, active, and loved starting his day with an egg curry and a tall glass of milk. But every afternoon he'd crash, low energy, gas, and a tight feeling in his chest. He blamed it on getting older, but when he simply swapped his morning milk for some warm water or tea and had his eggs with vegetables instead, that uncomfortable slump disappeared. His digestion improved, and so did his mood. All from that one change. See, food isn't just about nutrients. It's about synergy, how ingredients work together inside your body. Just because two things are healthy on their own doesn't mean they're healthy together. And eggs and milk? They're like two strong characters in a film who just don't have chemistry. They clash, they compete, and your gut pays the price. Now that doesn't mean you have to give up either. Milk still has its place, especially for seniors who need calcium for bone health, but timing is everything. Have your milk at night when your body is winding down, or in the afternoon as a snack if it suits your digestion, and enjoy your eggs. In the morning with sautéed vegetables, a slice of whole grain toast, or even a bit of yogurt, just not milk. These tweaks might sound small, but the effects are powerful. And what's beautiful about this approach is that it respects your traditions while upgrading your habits. You're not giving up what you love. You're just learning how to enjoy it in a way that supports your body, not works against it. There's so much noise out there about health, diets, and what to eat. But at this stage in life, it's not about fads or extremes. It's about peace. Peace in your belly, peace in your joints, peace in your energy levels. And that peace comes when you understand your food better, when you treat your meals like medicine, when you listen to your body and honor what it needs. So as you go forward, remember this: eggs are fantastic, but they need space. Let them shine on their own, or with companions that support them, not sabotage them. Skip the milk, the fruits, the sugar-laden dishes that weigh you down. Instead, choose lighter pairings, mindful eating, and give your digestion the respect it deserves. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Start with your breakfast. Notice how you feel. Let your body guide you. With each thoughtful choice, you're not just eating better, you're living better. And that, my friend, is the real secret to aging well. It's not just about what you add to your plate, it's about what you leave off. Now that we've cleared the fog around common but risky food pairings with eggs, let's take a moment to really absorb what we've learned. Because what you choose to put on your plate each morning, or any time of day, truly matters. And not just for your digestion or your energy. These choices quietly shape how your body functions, how well you sleep, how clear your mind feels, and even how steady your mood stays. It might seem like a small thing, avoiding fruit, milk, or sugar with your eggs. But these small choices have a ripple effect. For seniors especially, when the metabolism starts to slow down and the gut becomes more sensitive, what used to be harmless can now become harmful if we're not paying attention, and the consequences build up. Constipation, indigestion, inflammation, even joint pain and skin issues. All things many seniors assume are just normal aging, when often they're not. So instead of blaming your body, try listening to it. That feeling of heaviness after breakfast. It might not be your age. It might be that fruit salad you had right after scrambled eggs. That sudden bloating mid-morning? Could be the milk you drank alongside your omelette. These are the little patterns worth noticing, because when you do, you get your power back. You stop treating your body like a mystery and start treating it like a friend you want to support, a friend you want to nourish, a friend who's gotten you through 6, 7, or even 8 decades of life and is still carrying you forward. The good news is that this doesn't require complicated diets, expensive supplements, or harsh restrictions. It's about simplicity. It's about respecting how your body digests, how it processes, and how it thrives when it's not overloaded with confusing food combinations. So what can you do instead? Think balance. Pair your eggs with lightly cooked vegetables, things like spinach, bell peppers, mushrooms, or onions. These are easy on digestion and full of fiber, which helps keep things moving smoothly. Or enjoy your eggs with whole grain toast, a bit of avocado, or even a spoonful of plain yogurt. These combinations not only taste great, but support the way your body works. And don't underestimate the power of timing. Spacing your meals by a couple of hours, or simply waiting before you have fruit or milk, can make a huge difference in how you feel. It gives your digestive system the clarity and space it needs to do its job properly. You're not giving up eggs, you're just giving them the room they need to benefit you fully. It's all about working with your body, not against it. I've seen so many people in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s rediscover how good they can feel, simply by making a few smarter choices at mealtime. More energy, better digestion, less discomfort. It's never too late to change, and you're absolutely worth the effort. So if this video gave you even one helpful idea, one insight that made you pause and think, maybe I've been doing that too, then take it as a sign. Your health journey doesn't stop here. It can improve every day. You have the wisdom, you have the experience. Now just add the right knowledge and care. And hey, if you found this helpful, why not share your experience in the comments below? What's one food combination you've always eaten, but now realize might not have been helping you? Or maybe you've already made changes and noticed results. Let's talk about it. Your story might just inspire someone else. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're building a community of strong, smart, and health-conscious seniors who know that age is just a number, but feeling good is priceless. Here's to eating smarter, feeling better, and living fully. One meal at a time. You've got this.